Hello and welcome to this week's Olive Press TV Roundup. As ever, we've brought you breaking news from across the Spanish Costas and the Islas. In Andalusia, we lead with the unprecedented victory of an expat couple against Rothschild Bank. Click here on this link to read more. We've also brought you exclusive features, including a new walking app that is taking many expats off the beaten Spanish Camino. Click here if you would also like to read more. But this week we'll be looking mostly into the horrific murder of an expat in Moraira on Spain's stunning Costa Blanca, and we will also be looking into why the Spanish legal system is set up against male violence. Sources close to the Olive Press have revealed this week that wedding invitations had very recently been sent out, but this Dutch-Romanian romance did not end with the throwing of rice. No, the woman, named as 36-year-old Alina, was discovered by dustmen dumped in a blood-soaked blanket in a rubbish container in Moraira on Monday morning. Her ex-partner, a Dutch real estate agent who has been named as Arthur Karvink, has now confessed to police that he attacked his fiancée in the very same office where the both of them worked, slitting her throat with a kitchen knife. Shockwaves were sent throughout the community as Moraira's main street remained cordoned off by police tape, and the prime suspect was taken, hooded and in handcuffs, into the estate agents on Wednesday to relate to investigators how the event unfolded. Questions are rightly being asked. What drives a man to commit such a brutal crime? Olive Press sources have claimed to us that Arthur was known to suffer from potentially a form of PTSD following 5 years with the Dutch Marine Corps. The source, who asked to remain nameless, told us he was sick in the head. He got strange and aggressive with me on 2 occasions, and I immediately recognised that he had this behavioural issue. Sources today have also said that Arthur was booted out of the Marines after attacking a superior. Former girlfriends have also come forwards, with one saying that he grabbed her by the throat and hit her, whilst another British woman has said she was forced to flee Moraira overnight due to his violent episodes. Acquaintances also added today that Arthur was known to be possessive and always seeking to control his lovers. Indeed, the upcoming trial will not be the first time that Arthur has found himself in the Spanish docks. A source from the Valencian Courts of Justice told the Olive Press this week how police rushed to his apartment in Moraira in the early hours of June the 30th last year, after neighbours phoned the police following a loud and violent argument. Alina, despite being punched in the face, however, refused to testify, and the case at Benidorm's Criminal Court No. 2 collapsed due to a lack of evidence. So again, questions are being asked. Has the legal system failed Alina? What is interesting about this case is that the Spanish law for about 20 odd years has been very set up to help particularly people in Alina's situation. Male murders of sentimental partners have become one of Spain's most pressing problems today, as Alina has been named as the 1044th woman murdered by her current or ex-male partner since 2003. Records began following the introduction of swift legal reforms that made it much easier for prosecutors to convict male perpetrators of domestic violence. The sentences were also increased for these convicts. The origin of these harsher penalties date back to the shocking case of Ana Orantes, a woman who was murdered by her ex-husband just 13 days after she testified to the abuse she had suffered in a live Spanish television interview. The horrific tale shocked the nation, leading to a public admission that male violence is a scourge of Spanish society. The laws are a point of constant attack now from right-wing parties such as Vox. But speaking outside Alicante's town hall on Wednesday, the deputy mayor, Mari Carmen Sanchez, acknowledged that 23 years after Orantes' death, there is still a long way to go. She said, "From the youngest among us, we must put a stop to this social disease of gender violence. We cannot continue having years as black as this one has begun. We must be totally intolerant. If you have any doubt or suspicion, I encourage you to report it and prevent victims from remaining silent. We must use all the mechanisms available to us by the administrations to stop the figures of this social scourge from rising." This is Joshua James Parfitt, the Costa Blanca reporter for the Olive Press. Thank you and enjoy the weekend.